What makes cucumbers more or less bitter from season to season or from variety to variety? This is an interesting question that I got from a viewer who was requesting cucumber varieties that were less bitter than others. And I thought this was a great question and also very timely since we're all planting our warm season vegetables in our gardens here in southern Arizona, and cucumbers are one of them. This bitter flavor is caused by the presence of a compound called cucurbicidin. Cucurbicidin is present in the roots, in the stems, and in the leaves of certain plants like cucumbers, and it's actually a protective mechanism. As creatures are grazing in your garden looking for something to munch, if they take a bite of that cucumber leaf, they are not going to enjoy that bitter flavor and they tend to leave it alone. No one told the cucumber beetle this, so they continue to munch. There are certain abiotic stressors that can cause an increased level of cucurbicidin in your cucumber plants. Abiotic stressors are environmental factors such as high temperatures, drought, or nutritional deficiencies in the soil, which pretty much sums up our gardening experience during the summertime in southern Arizona. So are we destined for bitter cucumbers? The good news is that you can pick certain varieties of cucumbers that have lower amounts of cucurbicidin in them. You can also practice certain gardening techniques that will help lower the amounts of cucurbicidin. We'll talk about the cucumber varieties at the end of the video, but for right now, let's talk about what gardeners can do in their practices to help lower the bitterness factor. The first thing you can do is water consistently. Consistent irrigation practices are going to help lower the stress of the plant, and less stress means less cucurbicidin present in the fruits. To fight the nutritional deficiency stressor, we can amend our soil with organic compost and try to make sure that we are building healthy soils through the addition of organic matter from season to season. The better the soil structure, the more moisture it will retain. Mulch to maintain consistent temperatures in your soil from day to day, and also to retain moisture in the soil so that your cucumber never dries out and gets stressed. The next thing you can do, whether you're growing in ground, in a container, or in a raised bed, is to make sure your cucumber has enough space. You want to make sure that your cucumber isn't having to compete with weeds or other plants that are planted too closely together for nutrition and water resources in the soil. All of those things happen to be very good practices for successful gardening in southern Arizona anyway. Consistent watering, mulching, making sure that you have a lot of organic matter in your soil, and decreased competition from other plants or weeds. Now let's talk about how cucumber varieties can also affect flavor. Scientists and plant breeders have been working hard to try to combat the problem of bitterness in cucumbers for a long time. They've been able to isolate a group of genes that trigger the formation of cucurbicidin. You may have heard of burpless cucumbers, and that's because cucurbicidin can cause digestive distress in certain individuals and cause them to burp or have other digestive issues. Varieties of cucumbers that have lower levels of cucurbicidin will be labeled as burpless or bitter-free. So you can think of it as no bitterness, no burping. When your cucumber is stressed, or when you have a variety that has higher levels of cucurbicidin, that compound can build up in the skin and in the ends of the cucumber fruit. When you are harvesting and prepping your cucumber fruit, you can get rid of some of the cucurbicidin by trimming off the ends of the cucumber and also by shaving off the skin of the cucumber. If you've tried burpless or bitter-free cucumbers and you still have tummy troubles, you could grow Armenian cucumbers instead. Armenian cucumbers are actually a melon, not a cucumber, but they have that same delicious cucumber flavor. Another great thing about Armenian cucumbers is that they grow great in the heat here in southern Arizona and remain very productive throughout the entire summer. I've researched this topic extensively, and over time I've compiled a list of different cucumber varieties that are considered burpless or bitter-free. On the next screen, I am going to provide you with that list. You can pause the video if you'd like to take some notes, but also for your convenience, I am going to provide a free downloadable PDF in the description box below. As you're shopping, you can use this list to help pick out a great variety of cucumber, but there are also a couple of other physical factors that can help you choose a great cucumber. One of those is the thickness of the skin. Since cucurbicidin is contained in the skin or the ends of the cucumber, if you choose a cucumber variety that has a much thinner skin, then it's going to be less bitter naturally. You can also choose a cucumber that is labeled as seedless, because those are also going to have less bitterness in them. I am wishing you so much luck with your cucumbers this year. year, may you have a bountiful harvest, and may the cucumber beetles never find them. I'm Kara from So Arizona. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy gardening.